What's up, guys? Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Day as we are recording this, and today we got a short, sweet, quick one for you. We're just going to play a round where I grew up, where I learned to play from my hometown. Let's get into it. Hole 1 is about as simple as they come for a disc golf hole. 265 downhill. It's just right there. Monumental location. My first ever disc golf throw was from this tee pad with a DX Destroyer that I just bought across the street, and it went into that road. So we'll try not to repeat that, but no promises. Got a Nexus here. Let's put it on some hyzer. That was terrible. Ibland Tomb, actually. It's the actual shot. There we go. 2 off 1 plays. It's my channel, I'm sorry. But no, I always feel super lucky to have a home course and a course that I learned to play on as good as this one. Front 9, very scoreable, has some par 4s coming up that could be questionable. And then the back 9 has some teeth. And I will say a lot of us early on, especially when we started playing, just never went across the street to the back 9. But once you play that more, you'll see it makes you a better golfer, definitely a better woods golfer. A running theme here as well is that a good round never starts with a birdie on 1. All my best rounds I've ever played out here, I never birdied this hole. It's too easy, I think. So maybe a bad sign here. It's good that that's a fraudulent birdie. Hole 2 is 365 par 4, just off to the right here, creek on the left side. It's funny coming back to these holes that I have a forehand now, because my brain sees them entirely differently than the first however many years I played that I didn't have a forehand. But just gonna flex over on a yeet, a little bit of a tailwind, so I think I can give this a good amount of anhyzer out of the hand and just rip it. Pretty short, but it's a putt. Yeah, just a little too high and stally to get all the way up here. Got kind of the ante bid or the just straight hyzer. Let's go for this gap. See if we can't get an eagle. Oh, way short. Maybe it was the ante. Oh, that was terrible. All right, time to take the jacket off. It's getting serious. Now we are getting into holes that are much more reflective of this course as a whole. This is 390 par 4 shapes. Again, just to the right, pretty similar shape as hole 2, but obviously much more wooded. Gonna go with a turnover dynasty. Not enough flip out of that, but the left side is not bad over there. You have a pretty clear up and down to the pin. This left side is a good miss if you just kind of stall out a little bit. You still get easy up and down birdie. Obviously the last 2 holes are 2-able, 2 more than this one, but just nice easy birdies always feel good. That was so short. What am I doing? You could say fraudulent par 4s. I like to say good warm-up holes. Get your round started on a good note. And almost miss a putt. Hole 4 is an interesting one. Short, just 235, but a very specific line. Just need something to hold hyzer down this hill. Hard to park it, but interesting hole overall. OB on the right side comes in quick as well. Ah, fuck me. Sometimes I like going soft mid, really just let this kind of stall and push. Yeah, I think that is a better line. This raw was the perfect line. I really do like that stalling mid. The hole's only like 230, so you think you don't need to disc up like that, but I think it's really more about the angle of the glide you get down this hill. It's just a very specific shot. Maybe that's just me coping for throwing a mid on a 230-foot hole. You tell me. If there's one thing this course loves, it is wooded par 4s, and we have another one here on hole 5. We really just want to get out of this gap and then almost flare skip left pretty quickly. Gets us in a tunnel. There is a line to the basket on a flex forehand, but you guys know me. That's not a me thing. Little torque, just right down the middle, work left. Now we just work left. Should be good. So really all you need to score well out here, especially on the par 4s, is like an accurate 300. And if you have that, you're gonna be able to score pretty well out here. These upshots have been a nightmare for me recently for some reason. I just cannot throw straight. So I'm gonna just flex a fjord. And for whatever reason, I'm way more confident in that. Don't ask me why. I'm in shambles. This is another par 4 that is 2-able, but honestly, one thing I really appreciate this course for, especially like as I was learning to play, it's definitely wooded, but it's also pretty long. Like, it has par 4s. Maybe you wouldn't consider 400 feet like the longest, but a lot of wooded courses max out at, you know, I mean, even 275 in a lot of places. So being able to have room to grow, kind of open up, throw more distance drivers really helped, I think. Hole 6 is a 486-foot wooded par 4. This is actually a redesign since I moved away, but this is a much better hole than the old one. Just the 2 mandos to contend with, lets you disc up to a distance driver, just keep something in play, but also get down the fairway, hopefully get a manageable up and down. You kind of want to stay to the left after the second mando because the right side, the original fairway for the other tee pad, is pretty poke and hopey. Yeah, that is perfect. Go get yourself a Halo Faro. Not the easiest upshot here. Some things to contend with, and like I said, mine are tragically bad right now for some reason, but we'll flex this. Hole 7 is 330 uphill and then kind of goes back downhill blind shot towards a playground, so not like the best spot in the park, but you know, sometimes you just got to go for it. Live Moss, right? That's pretty close to perfect. Unfortunately, just didn't quite hold the turn when we crested the hill, so bailed out left over here. Not a bad shot. This is definitely one of the harder birdies on the course, in my opinion. And that just slipped out of my hand. What was that? So a hole, I'll take a 3 on it. I mean, obviously I will take a 3 on it because it took me 3 shots to get in the basket, but like mentally I'm okay with taking a 3 on it. Hole 8, 250 straight ahead. It's just your classic woods tunnel. You gotta have one. Most aceable hole out here probably outside of hole 1. Not the line, but oh, I spoke too soon. This does drop off behind it to an OB path that follows around the right side as well. So you have to be a little bit mindful. OB path on the left side, so something to think about. A kid can definitely send you OB pretty easily or a roll away. But you still got to run the putt. Hole 9 is a 285-foot par 3 that you really just want to get out this tunnel and a little to the left. This is one of the only holes in my life that I've seen someone tee off and their tee shot end up behind of the tee. Hit that tree, caught the path, and just rolled back. I know Jay still watches the channel sometimes. Jay, shout out. Still think about that shot all the time. Hilarious. Just try to hit the gap. AK, early release it to the sneaky side, getting up and down, and cry in just a second. Just low, but at least I hit a gap. If you do miss, the left side is the side to miss on for sure. Just more open over here. Do I go skinny gap? Let's go wide gap. Yeah, so here's where player C or D or whatever player / tee shot that was ended up. Little forehand out. Wraps us up on the front 9. Front 9, a little bit more open, a little bit more scoreable other than a couple holes on the back 9. And the back 9, for the technicality, the teeth come in. Got a scenic walk across the road over there to the other side of park. See you in however long this cut takes. Hole 10 is a 350-foot straight ahead par 4 that out of all of them is the most fraudulent. This is just a par 3. Changed a little bit since I've been here before. They've limbed up the left side so the forehand looks a little bit better. They've also added a mando on that tree, so it's not the biggest, safest hyzer anymore, but just Swirly S1 Dynasty for me. Try to kind of flip one on this right side and finish back in. Or just straight at it on a little hyzer and probably hit a Guardian. Not hit a Guardian. So we have outside the circle, edge of the circle putt for an eagle. I have thrown many a champ boss at this hole and said it was an eagle when I made the putt, and I genuinely just don't think I can agree with that anymore, but hey, we'll take it if this goes in. We'll take it. Hole 11 is an odd one. It is 225 straight that way, so you can either throw cut forehand, try to flare skip as far as possible to the right side, or their sneaky kind of forehand roller route, cut forehand through this gap. I've always just played it safe through the gap on a forehand. Just take my 225 back into the pin, take a par. I've only ever seen somebody hit that right side fairway once. My brother threw a turnover, I think like quadruple S Wizard through that one time. Seen it attempted plenty of times. I tried to throw a cut roller the other day and ended up taking like a 6 on this hole. Don't want to talk about it. This is a easy 3. Hole 12 is one of, if not the signature hole out here, playing over gorgeous Kentucky Lake, very brown this time of year. You can go kind of Easy approach disc, almost mid to this first gap, but you have a lot to contend with getting up to the pin. It is a par 4, so you do kind of have some leniency there, but there's also a secondary gap. These two trees are kind of growing in to block it, but if you can get a hyzer in that second gap, you do have a look at eagle or a much easier birdie. That's what we're going for today. Halo Faro. Say a prayer for it before I throw it, and we'll see what happens. Basically, big hyzer. Could be a little too much hyzer. Dropped, and it's safe. Should be able to get up and down for birdie. Wow, nature. I'm Simon Lizotte with a nature moment. That's cool. I needed 3 more feet, man. 3 more feet of push. Feet guys in the chat, rise up. Oh my God, what a find. I'm a professional disc golfer. Huh, looks like they're trying to start a new lake here. Oh, that's bad. Interesting route I took. Would second guess that probably. There we go. Blackout marble. You can buy these still, I think. Hole 13 is a 340, say it with me, wooded par 4. I'm just now realizing, saying it out loud, this course has a lot of par 4s, but I love this course. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. Obviously partial for nostalgia or whatever, but this hole can be your absolute worst nightmare. True 2-shot hole. You'll see 340 me like that's kind of soft. Absolutely a 2-shot hole. Basically you want to get to a landing zone up there and then down a tunnel to the pin. Very precariously placed. I'm gonna go soft flip, I think. I usually throw Deeblen Tomb. My current Deeblen Tomb is not that flippy, unfortunately. So right at this left tree on some hyzer, soft, play the fairway. That's not the tree I meant to throw it at. Skip. Yeah, try to not do something too stupid, because again, a par on this hole is probably taking strokes on a lot of people in a tournament environment. Hole 14 is a 300-foot par 3 that works essentially through this gap and then back up a hill to the left. RIP, before a lot of this was grown in, I do have, guess probably not there anymore, a Proto Star Champ Boss that I sent just way into Narnia over there. Never found that thing. Absolutely loved that disc too. Tragedy. F in chat for the Proto Star Boss. Big boss guy. Oh no. Come on, son. Yeah. Actually, let me know down in the comments if it annoys you when I take second shots like that. In my mind, I'm just trying to show the course in videos like these, or a disc flight, something like that. So I'd rather not waste your time with me spelunking in the woods over here when it's not like a challenge or scored round. But let me know down below what you think. This still ended up pretty bad. It was super early. The best shots, I usually do take an overstable fairway driver control, like Firebird type disc, instead of I was throwing raws there. Best shots push to this bridge and skip off of it, honestly, and then back up the hill. Right now I've just got to try to lay up on this hill, get something to stick for a putt, which the Nexus is very good at. Really beautiful green though. Again, a lot of people, myself included, when I first started playing, really disliked the back 9 back here. I think it's just kind of technical and challenging. A little bit more of a hike, but definitely made me a lot better player when I started playing it. Hole 15 is a 290-foot downhill par 3. My best play has always been a flex backhand with my more glidey overstable mid. Right now it's a Luster Raw. See if we can't pull the shot off. A little low, but that is the line. Oh, just missed the skip angle. Still a putt. Definitely came out low, so I think this is a better result than I deserve, but at least I hit the line. Something I've been struggling with today, and that's what I get. That is absolutely what I deserve. Hole 16 is a 220-foot par 3 that honestly has opened up a ton over the years. This forehand route used to be very narrow, and there used to not be a straight route at all. You just kind of had to throw this hyzer that really everything filters down that hillside to the water. So while we're here, have a Nexus, there's a straight gap ahead of us. See if we can't hit it. Not the intended gap, but we pured it. Pured something. Even went a little long here, and I swear every time I throw this tee shot, I am just waiting for my disc to kick and careen straight into this pond. There's got to be a lot of discs in this pond purely for the fact that it is 99.99% of the time disgusting. Made up for the last putt. I would not go in there after a lot maybe, I don't know if there's a disc that I would go in there after. All right, welcome to hole 17. Every good course, every course out there has to have a worst hole. This is this one. You guys know we keep it real here. Hole 17 has always, will always be stupid. What, 60 feet of space off the tee to get through this gap and then work 90 degrees to the right. They've opened up a thumber out over here on the right side. Might try that for fun, but for the video, I'll show the traditional put a disc on as much ante as possible and try to not cut, roll, and find something in the fairway. One of the best shots I've thrown, absolute pure luck. And just for posterity, let's try this like staying still back of the tee pad thumber. This is pretty open, at least the first gap. That might be par. Yeah, I mean, shout out to the flip. This is one of the best results I've ever had backhand. Tree right in my line, so it will have to be a straddle putt, but not having an instant bogey is a godsend on this hole. Oh, just get it there, son. Ah, I would have loved to do this on camera, man. Come on, brother. And then the thumber actually ended up a little deep, but pretty parked. So if I ever come back here to play a tournament or anything, that is something to keep note of. And finally, hole 18 wraps us out with a 430-foot par 4. I think the big forehand plays, turnover backhand plays. I think roller probably also plays to really push distance down there. It's usually pretty well groomed, other than obviously a nice well-defined fairway if you do get off of it on that side. Probably not a great roller hole, but let something eat, let go of all your frustrations, likely from hole 17, and just throw something hard. Oh, it's too much turn. That's cut rolling. But we are in the fairway at least. Okay, my forehand has maybe 4 feet on my backhand that cut rolled halfway through the flight, so maybe less of a forehand guy than I thought. But a nice easy 3 to tap us out. But there it is. There is finally a video back at my home course where I learn to play disc golf. I mean, if you ask me, I don't think I could have asked for much more for a first course learning to play. I think it gave me a fun, scoreable front 9 and then a back 9 to grow into, but plenty of par 4s, plenty of technical lines, really kind of emphasizes all parts of the game pretty evenly, I think. I don't think there's any real part that's lacking. There's some forehand holes, backhand holes, but always in good condition. Paris Parks and Rec does a great job out here. And yeah, let me know what you think about the course. Let me know if you like the video. Looking forward to 2025, and see y'all in the next one.